Hello, chat. Hello, welcome back. It's been a few days since we streamed. How long has it been? Was it on Thursday? Yeah, it was on Thursday that the Game Awards happened, right? So, Tomb Raider. What is there to even say about it? Lara Croft, probably the most iconic leading lady in video games, debuted in 1996, October 25th on the Sega Saturn, and then like 2 weeks later on PlayStation and DOS. We're going to be playing the original Sega Saturn version of the game. Very excited about that, of course. I've never played it through on Sega Saturn before, so it's going to be interesting. I've only played it through on DOS before, to be exact. Yeah, there's a remake coming out. We'll probably talk a bit about that as we get to it. Let's just hop in, shall we? Let's just hop on in. Hello, Moto. Hello, Missan. Let's see, make sure that the game is... The game seems a little loud, but... see how it is when we get the gameplay. Oh yeah, we can talk about that in a bit. That's really funny, actually.
What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you?
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does, from Natla Technologies. You know, creator of all things bright and beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Feast your eyes on this, Laura. How does that make your wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru, vast mountain ranges to cover, sheer walls of ice, rocky crags, savage winds, and there's this little trinket, an age-old artifact of mystical powers buried in the unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
Okay. Which type of memory do you want to use? System. Okay, so Tomb Raider, 1996. First and foremost, let's just check something. We have two different filters we can have here for best effect. It's difficult to like switch between them without looking at the screen. Yeah, I think this is the better one. Alright, so why is the Sonic fandom upset? Basically, the Game Awards didn't have anything with Sonic in it. And they lost Best Racing to Mario Kart World. That's what they're upset. But yeah, Tomb Raider. There's a remake of Tomb Raider coming to, well, everything next year. It looks really good. It is technically the third time they're remaking Tomb Raider, although only the second time it's actually releasing. Good old gamma settings. Very useful for CRT TVs, generally useless on HD TVs. Anyway, so Lara was contacted by a woman named Natwa, who is in charge of a big tech company, and she is to retrieve an artifact in Peru. That's about it. That's about all we know so far. Let us know what the audio level is like. We're gonna get another cutscene now, and then we're gonna get into gameplay. So we're gonna be mostly quiet for a little bit, so you can listen to the audio levels of the cutscene. How was the audio level in that? Was it good? So yeah, that's the start of the game. Who the hell fed the wolves in the cave all this time? Maybe they were naturally fed. So, Tomb Raider 1. All of the early Tomb Raider games have tank controls, which means that they control basically like Resident Evil controls. The big difference is you have a jump button, and you can jump in a lot of different ways. You can also dodge to turn around. Now, these days people complain about these controls, but they're actually really fluid for the time. 3D platforming was far from standardized yet. And a cinematic platformer, which is the style of platformer this game is, had never really been done properly in 3D. You had some isometric ones, but they mostly like relied on... Whoa! Okay, let's run! Whew! Hello, Rita. But yeah, they relied on, you know, a lot of running jumps and climbing, etc. that had not really been done in 3D, and that's what core design set out to do with Tomb Raider. To basically create the Prince of Persia of 3D platforming. And honestly, they pretty much succeeded. This became the standard for 3D platformers up until, like, the death of tank controls. Now, of course, that is cinematic platformers. Obviously, for mascot platformers, Super Mario 64 was the standard. The very same year this came out, actually. Alright. So, Lara will automatically aim at an enemy. But when you have your guns out, you are limited in your movement. Although you do turn around faster, which is like a trade-off. So like your jumps are less. Actually, yeah, you can't even jump. No, you can't. Okay, you can jump, but you can't do your big like acrobatic jumps. Like if we try to do it, they are okay. They're still fairly acrobatic actually, but they're not as good as the usual jumps. And of course, she can't grow onto ledges if she's holding her guns. We get, what's the save feature in this game? Compass, pistols, game, gamma, game. Can you save freely? Restart level, exit the title. Okay, no, there's no free saving in this. I think Tomb Raider 2 has free saving. Let's see, what else can we do actually? So like we have sidestepping, little small adjustments. We have look as a feature, which you can do to like look around like this. Pretty cool. What does this button do? Okay, not sure what L does right now. Maybe it's smaller steps. It might be walking. Hold on. Yeah, it is. It's walking. Okay. Are we supposed to be able to see what's down there? That's very dark. But yeah, so this game has gotten 3 remakes. First, 10 years after the original game, the original developers, Core Design, were working on a remake called the 10th Anniversary Edition, set to be released on the PSP. This version ended up being cancelled, although a fairly far into development version is has leaked online since then. But after it was cancelled, another remake by the then current developers of the series, Crystal Dynamics, who are still the developers to this day, they did a remake instead called Tomb Raider Anniversary, which came out in 2007. And it's a really good game, by the way. And now we have Tomb Raider: A Legacy of Atlantis coming out next year, which is also a remake. And what's interesting about these remakes, actually, is that they're all very, very different. So, like, none of them are, like, one-to-one recreations of the original. They're all, like, sort of, like, reinterpretations, like, major reimaginings. And perhaps even more importantly, they haven't, like, done the thing that, like, Resident Evil is doing, where, like, the earlier versions get replaced. Like, when Tomb Raider Anniversary came out, okay, granted, that was before DLC practices were too big, but, like, Tomb Raider 1 was put on Steam even though Tomb Raider Anniversary was out. You know? And even now, like, if you want to play the original Tomb Raider, you have... It's on Steam, it's on GOG, it's on PlayStation Network. Like, in the original PS1 and DOS forums, they're available. And on top of that, like, there was also the remastered that... Even though we decided not to play them right now, because we thought it would be more fun to play the Saturn version, they are, like, pretty solid recreations of the original games, you know? Especially if you play with the old graphics, because the new graphics are, gonna be perfectly honest, kind of boring. But yeah, like, those are available, even though there's another remake out. And while, of course, it could still possibly happen that they were to, like, undo that and delete the old versions when the next remake is coming out, that doesn't seem too likely, because as bad as Embracer is as a company, they haven't done that with other IPs, so we appreciate that. We love when remakes clearly exist because the people wanted to do something new, and they don't think of it as a replacement. Like, that's the stuff that we appreciate. Let's see. I haven't played the original Tomb Raider, but I own Tomb Raider Legend for Xbox 360. That game is very dear to me, so it was one of the 3 games my late cousin gifted to me. That is awesome to hear. That the game is dear to you, that is. Tomb Raider Legend is actually our favorite Tomb Raider game. That game is just really, really, really good. Can we jump up here? But yeah, Tomb Raider Legend is just an absolutely excellent game, and we're gonna be perfectly honest, before we decided to do the original game, we were kind of thinking, like, should we just start with Legend? Should we just go Legend, Anniversary, Underworld instead, and not bother with the originals right now? Then we decided, no, not playing the Saturn version is too good of an opportunity to pass up, you know? Or sorry, playing the Saturn version is too good an opportunity to pass up. But yeah, we really like Tomb Raider Legend. That is like... if those who don't know, that was the first reboot. A lot of people refer to the 2013 game as, like, the reboot. But, like, Legend was the reboot. Because Legend completely threw out the earlier games in the series and rebooted the series. And then they did Anniversary as a remake of Tomb Raider 1, taking place in the Legend universe. And actually, it's kind of funny. Now, in the current timeline of the series, neither Legend nor the 2013 game serves as like reboots anymore. Instead, they've changed it so that like the 2013 game and its sequels is now Lara's origin story. And then after that, the earlier games happened, as well as Legend and Underworld, and then the new games. Now, obviously, there's some alterations that had to be made to make that work, because obviously games did not take place in the same era, but like stories, like basically you're supposed to like view it as like, okay, some approximation of these games happened in this like time frame. The exception being Tomb Raider 1 and Anniversary, because there's a new remake for that coming out. But yeah, we think that's pretty cool. So like the timeline goes like Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, then the new remake, and then a bunch of old games, and then the game coming out in 2027, Tomb Raider Catalyst, which, oh, fuck off. Wolves. Are there any more of them? Alright now. Oh, this is the room from the demo. This room was in the demo that the very first thing of Tomb Raider we played was a demo of the DOS version. And it starts you in this room, we're pretty sure. Can I make this jump? Ah, fuck yeah. Yeah, Tomb Raider 2013, by the way, really good game. Like, absolutely fantastic game. Health pack. Okay, how do we pick it up? There we go. In fact, they actually just released Tomb Raider 2013 on Switch. It was already out on other consoles, but it's out on Switch now. And if you haven't played Tomb Raider 2013, it's like a legitimately amazing game. Like, yes, it's very different from this game. Obviously, it's like more of a like third-person action game. Like Lara is like cutting through people with a fucking ice pick and shooting people with a bow and arrow and like doing stealth takeouts and shit. Like, it is a very different game, but it's really good. And it's out on Switch now, so that's nice. It's actually the latest Tomb Raider game. Okay, that's not true. We were about to say that's actually the latest Tomb Raider game that we have personally played. But that's not true. We have played some of the spin-offs as well. But yeah, we haven't actually played the sequels, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Because when they were announced, they were doing this thing where it was like, oh, you have to buy it on Xbox to get access to these special scenarios, and you have to, like, buy the special edition, this thing, and get the season pass, and blah, blah, blah. So we were like, yeah, no, fuck off. We're not gonna bother then. And since then, actually, as recently as last week, they have, like, been like, yeah, okay, all of the DLC is now just included in the base game. Okay, this is a timed puzzle. It's a little tricky playing a game with like, oh, wonder if we can do a, okay, we're gonna try a trick jump. Ah, so close. Okay, that's a good idea. That's a good start. Actually, yeah, let's Let's confirm if we can jump up like this. No, okay. So jumping down with that works, but not jumping up. This actually feels very Super Mario 64. Yeah, a little bit. It was a way to make like, because like cinematic platformers are all about like precision platforming. Like it's all about like, okay, which step of the edge are you supposed to stand on, etc., etc. So like, unlike say a Mario game or a Sonic game, where it's more about just landing on a platform, you have like Prince of Persia. It's all about like standing on like the right pixel and making the right length of a jump in a very different way. And they wanted to like translate that into 3D with Tomb Raider, which led to like the requirement for 3-dimensional jumps like this to be like a focus. And it's actually, it feels really good. Like it's really fun. Like it's very clunky when you first start playing it, especially if you're used to modern games today. But like legitimately, it is a very smooth. It is like a very smooth movement system. Oh. There's a reason like every 3D platformer that wasn't a mascot platformer, and some that were, copied this. Like Prince of Persia 3D tried to go for a big port. Tried to go for a very similar combat system, control system. There are more, but we can't think of them right now. Like, this game is arguably, like, one of the most influential games of all time. And, like, on one end, you can kind of say that about almost any game released in, like, the 90s that was popular, same with the 80s. But, like, sorry, we're trying to get a good shot of Lara right now. If we do... Okay, if we take one step there, and then... That's kind of a good shot. Yeah, so like, this game basically, it kind of came out of nowhere. And every third-person shooter and platformer that wasn't a mascot platformer in like the next 10 years was just kind of aping this game's shtick. And it's kind of amazing because like, this game is very simple. Like, you've kind of seen everything in the game already. Like, sure, like, there's different locales, different enemies, etc., etc. But, like, in terms of, like, just the pure gameplay, like, this is it. You shoot things, you jump over things, you grab onto ledges, you shuffle along. You avoid traps. This is obviously a trap. Yeah, like, it's so interesting to see this game that probably took, like, a year and a half to make, maybe. And that is, like, mechanically so simple. And then, like, you get, like, the latest Tomb Raider game has been in development since 2021. And it's not out yet. And it's like, how do we get here? Do we need to get here? Yeah, so our favorite Tomb Raider games are Tomb Raider Legend, the aforementioned Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider 2013, Tomb Raider... Hold on. We always mix up some of the early ones. Tomb Raider 2, and Tomb Raider Anniversary. Oh, and Tomb Raider 1. Tomb Raider 1. We forgot to mention Tomb Raider 1. Oh, we also really liked some of the spin-offs. Like the Lara Croft co-op games are really good. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, and Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. Those actually take place after the Underworld games, which is kind of interesting. And they have Kane and Lynch as like unlockable characters, which is like very funny. Lara Croft Go is also pretty cool if you like turn-based strategy. Oh, took a bit of damage there. That's okay. Oh, fuck. There's traps here. Surprised we haven't died yet. Hey, we beat a level without dying! First try! That feels pretty good. Save game? Hell yeah. The saving is so fast. This is on console. We're playing on console, on an actual Sega Saturn. We didn't realize the saving would be this fast. Okay. Hold on, we're just gonna fix the thing. Alright. Oh, fuck. Oh yeah, so our outfit, we're having a black tank top on. This game actually has a very interesting port for the Nokia N-Gage, in which Lara wears her Angel of Darkness outfit, which is a black tank top. We were gonna have a teal tank top, but we couldn't find one in time for the stream, so we went with this instead. God, the auto-aiming is like, still feels really fucking good. Like 29 years later. It's honestly like kind of baffling how good it works. No, we're not cold. I mean, we like the cold. Keep that in mind too. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh no, it's time for swimming. Oh no, it's time for swimming. You're not gonna beat this level without dying. Oh, hello, bear! Jump, Lara! Ah. Can we see our health? Yeah. We have 2 large medivac. We're not sure how much health these give us. Oh god. Okay. That's the swim forward button. That's how you dive. Okay. Oh. Swimming is traditionally the worst part of, well, most 3D games are honestly like, but Tomb Raider in particular tend to have very, very punishing underwater sections. Pull the switch, Lara. The first Tomb Raider movie, it's not good, but it has charm to it, for sure. And it's the best Tomb Raider movie, at least. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing we didn't use the big one, if the small one gives us that much. Oh, there's the switch. All right, nice. Oh yeah, so here's actually a nice moment to appreciate how Sega Saturn differs from the PlayStation and DOS version. So look at the walls. Specifically, look at the door wall here on the right. When we turn around, look as the camera passes by it. Okay, that didn't really work. Okay, there. You see it there? It kind of folds in a strange way. It's like it really wants it. It wants to be like forward facing for some reason. Like it should not actually like do that. It shouldn't do that. If it like 3D shouldn't look like that. It should not. It should be folding like that. That's the opposite of what it should do. That is because the Sega Saturn renders 3D with sprites and not polygons. So every single thing in 3D is rendered with four vertices, a square instead of a triangle, and that causes flat surfaces to look like that. We will read what you wrote in a second. Okay, what did this open? Okay, good. Hope we can make it over here before we run out of air. The breath meter is so annoying that some Tomb Raider games decided to just give Lara infinite breath underwater instead. I'm drawing on my animatic. I have scanned enough to make a sneak peek, but I need a good free editing program. I know that before, but do you know a good editing program where I can move around the different panels? Is DaVinci Resolve free? Hold on, let's check. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve. That's the one we recommend. Haven't used it ourselves, but it's the one we've seen recommended for free use. We personally use Premiere, but that is the opposite of free. Okay, hold on. Is it the door that opened? It must have been, right? Oh, that's... So the lead designer of this game is a man named Toby Gard. That's Gard with G-A-R-D, not like the word guard. DaVinci Resolve, you can download it from the official website. It'll be the first result when you Google DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, Toby Gard basically was the lead developer in this game and also the one that designed or wrote the character of Lara Croft, who was originally going to be Laura Cruz. She was going to be Latin American originally, but ended up being British in the end. But basically, he based Lara on his sister, and kind of like championed having her like a female lead for a game like this, because of a lack of leading ladies in video games. And honestly, like, good on him, because like, taking aside like the unfortunate objectification and exploitation that ended up with later marketing for certain Tomb Raider games. Oh fuck, that actually scared us. It scared the fuck out of us. Lara Croft was like a watershed moment. When we say that she is gaming's most iconic leading lady, like, we are not exaggerating, because like everything changed when Lara Croft arrived. Now, obviously, she was far from the first female lead in gaming. Like, of course not. Like, obviously, we have Samus Aran, we have Miss Pac-Man, we have so many of them. Alice Landale. But like, Lara Croft became so popular that like Core Design ended up getting like actual like honorary national awards from the government for like the character of Lara Croft. Like, the British government was like, yeah, hi, we're gonna recognize Lara Croft as like a crowning achievement. She was the first video game character to get that. She has been on more magazine covers than any other video game character ever. At least going by the most recent count. Obviously, like, every magazine ever is impossible to even find, so it's hard to say. But the current known count, she is far in the lead on. Which is also, like, incredibly impressive, obviously. How are we not finding where that door was? Of course, she's had 3 movies, 2 seasons of an animated show, another animated show, now that I think about it, that people often forget that came out before that. She's had comic books, running from basically the year, from 1996, the year she was introduced to, well, currently. there's a new comic book coming out in a month. So like, yeah, it's like she is a really impressive character. Okay, this is why we can't find the open thing. It's because it's over here. Yeah, like we've seen some people like get upset when people talk about Lara's success as a character. Especially Nintendo fans. Sorry, Nintendo fans, we're gonna fucking dog on you again. But Nintendo fans are very quick to be like, no, Samus Aran is far more iconic. But honestly, the average person, like we're talking like non-gamers, the average person is far more likely to know who Lara Croft is than who Samus Aran is. Like that's just fact. Wait, is this it? Is this a secret? Was that just a secret that we opened up here? Huh. That seems odd. Oh, and a health pack. Okay. And let's also not forget that, of course, Lara basically was created the entire Western video game porn market, but that's its own thing. Anyone remember Womb Raider? We remember Womb Raider. Although strictly, in terms of strict definitions, that's not porn, but yeah. Okay, that's odd. Where are we going? I think this was also in the DOS demo. God, this game is gorgeous. Like, look at the lighting here. It's so pretty. Oh, maybe. Oh, was that time door? Is that where we can find it? No, okay, no, it was that door, and we just closed it again. That's fine. Gotta go get some air. Maybe there's another switch here somewhere? I'm not really seeing one. What the fuck is Womb Raider? Do I even want to know? It's a softcore parody of Tomb Raider that came out in like 2002 maybe, mainly to capitalize on the Angelina Jolie film. It is also, in our genuine and honest opinion, one of the funniest fucking parody titles ever. Like, the quality of the film aside, That title is fucking brilliant. Gotta be something else there in the room. Yeah, so it's so funny. We actually said this on Twitter the other day. Because someone said something to the effect of, lesbians are so creepy and perverted about Lara, unlike other fans. And we were just like baffled by that take. And we said something akin to like, excuse you, do you remember Womb Raider? That wasn't lesbian fans that did it. And then we were like, maybe we should though. Maybe we should reclaim Womb Raider. Is there a ledge or something we can jump to up here? Okay, hold on. Let's have a look around. Definitely feels like there should be something here. What did we pick up, by the way? Magnum clips. We don't have a Magnum, though. Can you do wall jumps in this game? Or is that in Tomb Raider 2 that they introduced that? Actually, not sure how. A wall jump wouldn't really help us here, so that can't be it either. There clearly is not anything here. Okay, what's the compass do? That's not how a compass works. North is that way, but the compass is pointing that way. Okay, that's gotta be like an objective thing, right? So, like, we're supposed to, like, go this way. Oh, well, or the other way, rather. Anyway, yeah, so fun fact. Lara is basically... Lara is supposed to be a lesbian, but people keep getting in the way of it being confirmed. It's very interesting. So basically, Toby Gard, who created the character, is of the opinion that Lara is not interested in men. And like, that's one of the things that like the opening cutscene here even like alludes to when what's his face is like, what does it take for a man to get your attention? But yeah, when the first reboot happened, he was like, Toby Gard was like, yeah, no, Lara is not interested in men. Like, that's just not a thing. And then when the second reboot, they actually wanted to like canonize her as into women. So they introduced a character named Sam Nishimura, who appears in Tomb Raider 2013. She's a major character. And pretty much everyone that plays Tomb Raider 2013 are like, wow. So Lara and Sam, they're more than friends, huh? And that was the intention. That's where it was going. And then executives or something got in the way and it never happened. So then they tried again. They were going to canonize it in the Dark Horse comics. And then that got changed and cut last minute. And now finally, in the animated show on Netflix, they have finally been able to allude to it again. But like they're stuck in like this annoying, we can't say it outright, like zone. So like they'll do instead that like, they do the whole like characters longing for each other, looking like into each other's eyes while like music about romance is playing and shit, like stuff like that is basically what they're doing. It's so silly. Did we not see this switch earlier? How did we miss this? But yeah, hopefully now that the new animated show has done that and work is continuing on the sequels, maybe we can finally get lesbian Lara confirmed. What the hell? Why didn't she jump? We absolutely pressed the jump button. And like, we know we have to buffer jumps, but like... Well, yeah, but that goes... The thing is, like, it wouldn't change. If they said she's a lesbian, the men who take issue with that wouldn't care. Like... They're not gonna go, oh, she's a lesbian, guess I can't be creepy about her anymore. Like, that wouldn't happen. They would just keep doing the same thing they always do. We know this, because it happens every time a character is confirmed to... Oh, fuck! Nice. We know this because it happens every time a character is confirmed to be a lesbian. Hell, it happens when real-life people come out as lesbian. Men will instantly feel the need to be like, yeah, well, I'm still attracted to that person. It's like, okay, no one asked. Just realized something. There wasn't a 3D Tomb Raider on a Nintendo system until the fucking Wii. Unless we're forgetting something. But like, how wild is that? Completely skipped the N64, completely skipped the GameCube. Yeah, there was a Wii version of Anniversary. And like, we know people often thought of Tomb Raider as like a PlayStation franchise at the time, but that wasn't really true. Like, all the games releasing on PC often at the same day. And of course, the SEGA Saturn version came out first. And Tomb Raider 4 and 5 were on Dreamcast. Yeah. We were thinking about it because, like, we were thinking about how, like, how much the 3D Zeldas clearly owe to middle level design and like puzzle design, and then we realized that like you could have played through 4 3D Zelda games before the first 3D Tomb Raider game arrived on a Nintendo console. Yeah, but as a lesbian, we're also gonna say that, like, there's a certain subset of men who actually find it more attractive that they're not into men, because that will give them a chance to convert them. Or convert us. Where are we now? Wait, this is the start of the level again? Hello, Jumpan. Oh god, this is the start of the level again. How do we end up here? Also, can we go back up there? Okay. It's fine. We've killed the annoying enemies, so it should be fine. Like, all in all, like, no matter what a woman is or does, there's gonna be some camp of men that are who see whatever the woman is as an excuse to harass her and be creepy about her. Like, that's just men, unfortunately. You tell us, Jimpan. We can barely hear the game, so we don't really know. The Sega Saturn version is the original version, like it came out first. Nah, it only came out 2 weeks before the PS1 and DOS version, but it's still the first version. Oh, hello. Why, thank you. A little Peru treasure. And a key. There a version difference between the Saturn and PS1 version? Mainly the Saturn version runs slightly worse, and the graphics are, depending on your preference, worse. But like overall, it's the same game. Like there's no missing content between the versions. That we know of, at least. Okay, so was this all an optional area? Where are we supposed to go? No, wait, no, we got a key. We got a key. Silver key, gold idol. All right. Okay. Yeah, growing up, we played the PC version. Which game's better on Saturn? Castlevania Symphony of the Night is better on Saturn. Mega Man 8 is better on Saturn. Most 2D games, honestly, better on Saturn. Ah. Ah, more fucking... Ah. This looks like a place with enemies. Oh! Yeah, no, same. We played the Courtesan Tomb Raider games on PC. Actually, we played most Tomb Raider games on PC. All Tomb Raider games on PC? Oh no, we played Legend on 360 as well. And Underworld. I think we might have played... Not sure if we ever played Anniversary on 360 or not. But yeah, like we grew up PC gaming, so like the PC versions are the ones that we know the best. In this game, hello, in this game, can we hold on to any ledge? Sort of. Probably not literally any ledge, but most of them. Ah, fuck. More swimming. But yeah, there's literally like holding down the action button. Will hold on to ledges. We can actually show it right now. So like if we do a forward jump here and then hold down the hold button, Lara will hold on to the ledge. Play the Legend trilogy on Xbox and wait, was it on original Xbox? We didn't know that. That's interesting. We knew it was on PS2. We didn't know it was also on original Xbox. Fuck! Okay, the pool is just to stop damage. That's nice. But yeah, we've said it before, but like if you get a Sega Saturn, and you should get a Sega Saturn, because the Sega Saturn is a very good system. And it's still not too expensive to get one, unlike some other systems. Get a Saru cartridge. That way you can like just get the custom firmware and play games from a micro SD. Okay. Clear that does not work. But actually, that gets us curious, game. Does that mean was Legend on GameCube as well? Did they do the whole GameCube PS2 Xbox systems, or did they ignore GameCube? Fuck off. Okay, so clearly we're missing something here. It was on GameCube. Oh, okay. Well, then we were wrong. We lied earlier. We said that the Wii was the first system to get a mainline Tomb Raider game. What are we supposed to do? We can't hold on to the wall here, right? It's flat. It looks pretty flat. What if we go exactly for like the middle section? we can land on the ledge without grabbing the ledge then. Like, yeah, there. Yes, that was it. Okay, let's get a running start. Okay. The save crystal over there. A lever, okay. Oh yeah, the fact that a grid base is really nice. It also, like, we were thinking about this, like, you could totally remake like the original Tomb Raider as like Minecraft adventure worlds. It would be kind of neat, you know? Conservation of the crystals. Yeah. Oh, was yeah. We talked about it earlier actually. So was did the first Tomb Raider have free saving on the PC? Because we know Tomb Raider 2 had, but we couldn't remember if the first one had. Oh yeah, that's not happening. Okay. Another jump puzzle. Okay. No! Okay, clear, there's gotta be another way to do this. Let's see. They look very plumb bobby, yeah. Can we jump up here? Yes. I gotta say, while we are very excited for Tomb Raider Catalyst, we are worried as well, because apparently, like, basically, Tomb Raider Catalyst being set in India and taking place after after Underworld confirms earlier leaks about the game, which also means the game is gonna be open world, which we're just tired of everything needing to be open world, you know? But also, like, it's not even the first time they try to do Tomb Raider open world, because that's actually what Tomb Raider Ascension was gonna be. And Tomb Raider Ascension became Tomb Raider 2013, which is more like, I mean, it's technically still open world, but like it's open world in the same way that like a Metroid game is. More so than like Skyrim is, which people don't call open world. So, yeah. But we're worried that it's gonna be like them just kind of like once again pushing themselves into like a poor design decision. But who knows? Maybe it's gonna be great. So we're guessing that the platforms that broke were to get like a secret artifact rather than to get here. But yeah, Tomb Raider Ascension was very interesting. It was before they decided that 2013 was going to be a big like reboot again. It was all set on Yamatai in the Dragon's Triangle, but like it was big and open world with like Shadow of the Colossus style monsters. Lara had a horse to traverse the world, which to be fair, that was kind of boss. Yeah. Have we talked about the origins of Lara Croft's character yet? Because that's a very interesting topic. A little bit. We talked about how she was originally Laura Cruz, a Latin American character. We talked about how Toby Gard based her on his sister because of a lack of female leading ladies in video games. Oh, fuck. Now, good thing we just saved. Can you, like... Come on! She was also based on Tank Girl. Yep, that's correct. Tank Girl and... another inspiration was Hard Boiled. Hence the Guns Akimbo stuff. And so the Tomb Raider died repeatedly by doing the same jump 4 or 5 times in a row. We take no damage from that fall. Oh, come on! There's also like an urban legend that the reason she has large breasts is because of like a polygonal error in development. Which like we've even seen some devs claim that's the case. And we're just gonna be perfectly honest. That's a lie. Like, it's just a lie. We know it's a lie. First and foremost, the way it's been described, that it was accidentally set to 200% instead of 100% on the size, that's not how 3D modeling works. Like, that's step 1 for recognizing it as obviously not true. Step 2, we have the concept art for the character. She always had fairly large breasts. Yeah, exactly. And this is, oh fuck. And this is another important part. Another aspect is very simply just, she's a 3D model from 1996. If she was gonna have boobs at all, they were gonna be pretty noticeable. Because, like, she's made of big, chunky polygons. Well, sprites. In this case, we're playing the Saturn version, but yeah. It's just one of those things where, like, people can't be normal about Lara Croft. So they have to, like, think up some ridiculous story as to why she had big boobs. It couldn't just be, she has big boobs. Oh fuck, we're so dead. Okay, we need it. Oh no, that's just the idol. We have the idol. Yeah, that is partially it. But, like, the need to, like, turn it into, like, a mistake seems also kind of related to, like, that way it's not, oh, we just wanted to make large breasts. That way it becomes, like, an accident. And, like, oh, it was never meant to be that way, but that's just how it ended up. Now, you can't blame us, which is, like, ridiculous. But, like, let's just be clear, like, you can just have characters with big breasts and not make a big deal out of them. And it's fine. No one minds. What people mind is when characters are reduced to such features, which you take part in doing when you feel the need to try and justify them through backwards ways like that. You know? Okay. Can we drop down here or will we die? Oh, yeah, we can do this. Okay, what's in here? We never actually swam in here. No, we were honestly kind of hyping up the bad swimming controls a bit much. It actually controls pretty fine. It definitely controls better than fucking Super Mario 64 swimming controls, that's for sure. Even though it's, like, in theory, the same controls. Just feels a lot better here. We definitely took notice of them, like, especially in, like, the later games, because then they started making it part of the marketing, you know? But, like, yeah, it's just absurd the way it's made out to be something that it just isn't. And this shit has been bothering us since we were a kid, actually. The way people talk about Lara's breasts. Because, like... And maybe, like, this is, like, unique to us in some way, but, like, we had... Even though we weren't out as trans as a child, we had a lot of, like, friends who were girls in school. And some of them, you know, when we got into, like, the post-puberty ages, some of them had very large chests. And they got so horribly treated for that. And, like, in such gross ways that we think it just, like, instantly became something we, like, just fixated onto in terms of, like, wow, people can't be normal about breasts, you know? Oh yeah, no, absolutely the marketing was worse than the games themselves. Although the games still have, like, some loading screen artwork and stuff like that that's questionable at best. As well as some outfits that are questionable at best. But, like... Yeah, no, it is... The games themselves have a tendency to be pretty good, for the most part, about not being awkward about Lara. But then you get something like... Have you seen the box art for Tomb Raider 1 in Japan? Which, by the way, in Japan it was called Tomb Raiders. Like, plural. Not sure why. But, like, they just made a butt shot. Like, the box art in Japan is just like Lara's butt next to a tomb. And it's like... Really? Man, I guess Lara's butt is the thing you see the most when you play, but, you know. This is the last Peru level, right? I seem to recall it being 3 levels, but it's also... It's been... God, when did we last play this game? Probably in the build-up towards Tomb Raider 2013, actually. We remember installing it on our school laptop. Oh! Current! Alright. Whoa! Waterfall. This is fucking cool. It's like an actual set piece. Okay, wolves. Less cool. Maybe we can go over here and shoot them from afar. Haha! Cowardice, thy name is strategy. One thing we hope about Tomb Raider Catalyst, by the way, we hope there's less focus on human enemies in that game. Because that's something we got kind of tired of. Already in the Legend trilogy, actually, now I think about it. The first reboot. But, like, 2013 was, like, almost exclusively human enemies. And from what we've heard, so is Rise and Shadow as well. Again, we haven't played those yet. Oh, the wolves came after we stopped shooting. Oh, fuck. By the way, we gotta say, the promotional artwork for this game, like the original Tomb Raider 1996, it mostly sucked. We really struggled with like finding good artwork to work with when trying to design the thumbnail and stuff. The sequels have a lot of really cool stuff. But yeah, the first game definitely struggled with a lack of good promotional material. Although some of the comic book stuff is pretty cool, but like doesn't really reflect the game that well. The actual final thumbnail we made is the remake of the box art made for the remastered version, but with the remastered Lara edited out and replaced with the cover art of the original game's Lara. And then the green glow on her being replaced with a red glow to match the like backdrop of the artwork. It was a lot of work, but we're pretty happy with it. But yeah. I remember Toby Gardner in commentary from the version saying that it had mostly animals and enemies because they thought people would feel bad killing humans. Yeah, that makes sense. Toby Gard seems to be a very chill dude, actually. Like, he has very interesting design philosophies and concepts that gaming as a whole has not cared to listen to at all. And hey, for better or worse, we suppose, like, what everyone feels about games. Anniversary is a really cool game. We wouldn't say we like it as much as the original Tomb Raider. It does some things that's genuinely really cool and like makes us wish we were playing it right now, for example. But also a lot of other things that's just like really, really, really bad. In particular, in terms of like visual design. Anniversary is very strange in some regards with its like art style. We don't want to spoil this game for people who haven't seen it before, but well, the new remake is called Legacy of Atlantis, so you know Atlantis is gonna be involved. And Atlantis in Anniversary sucks. And it's like, it's the big thing, you know, like, it's the central thing for the story, and it looks like fucking garbage in the first remake. Because it looks amazing in this game, which you'll see when we get there. But yeah. I think actually Atlantis is the only place they haven't already shown in some way for the new remake. Which we understand why. They probably won't show that before release at all. Or if they do, it'll be like very, very, very minor, because, well, it's hard to show anything from Atlantis without spoiling pretty big things of the game. Oh, for fuck's sake! Is this not what we're supposed to do? Are we doing something wrong? Yeah, Anniversary is great. Like, it's like a solid, like, 7 or 8 out of 10 game, you know? Like, it's a very good game, actually. And if someone really cannot stand playing modern, really old games, well, actually, these days we might just tell people to play the remastered version instead. But we will say, yeah, play Anniversary, like that. Like, if you want to get the original Tomb Raider story, play Anniversary. Yeah, there's just some things that the Anniversary does that we don't like. Atlantis is a big one. Of course, arguably an even bigger one that's good is it doesn't play like this. Which is fine if you're someone who grew up with games like this, but if you're not, this stuff gets old really fast. As we said, like, tank controls and precision platforming, cinematic platforming was standard for the games up until Tomb Raider Legend. After that, they kind of took the Uncharted approach a little bit. Anniversary cut out the cowboy character. Yeah, true. Hello, randomly. Yeah, we're doing pretty good right now. But yeah, no, agreed, Moto. It is very annoying. The new remake? I mean, the new remake is gonna be a completely different game. Like, we don't think a single part of the remake is gonna like look or play like this game does, you know. Which is fine because the original game is still available, and even has a cool remaster now, so that's all well and good. Okay, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Okay, let's look around the other parts of the room and see if we find something else. Maybe we're not supposed to go there. Okay, let's go in here instead. Oh, we've already been here. Shot a dog here. Apparently. When the fuck? Whoa. Oh yeah, we remember now. Yep, there's dinosaurs in the first 3 Tomb Raider games. And then there weren't any. And to this day, there still hasn't been any, except for in remakes of Tomb Raider 1. Which is a shame. Hope we get new dinosaurs at some point. We want Lara fighting a Spinosaurus. Yeah, sort of. I mean, honestly, it was more Uncharted. Like, Tomb Raider in the past, like, almost 20 years have just been trying to be more like Uncharted. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, it did give us some very good games. But it is also part of why Lara's mainly been fighting humans, and that does kind of suck. Okay. We're gonna have to, No, yeah, the game wants to go in to this cave. Okay. And then what? Forward. Okay. But there's nothing here. Game. There's nothing here. First, no. We played through Tomb Raider all the way up to the reboot in 2013 at launch. We grew up with these games, but we haven't played this game in probably like 15 years. And we've never played it on Sega Saturn before. Yeah, Lara's got abs. And yeah, we need to point this out. Earliest version of the game, original Tomb Raider, original Lara, she's got abs, and yet there are still people complaining that Lara has muscles in the upcoming game. Curious, what is the earliest place in a game you can think of that was designed to appeal to women? I don't count Pac-Man under this. I mean, technically, Lara Croft was designed to appeal to women. But... And she did, by the way. She did. But the earliest one... there's a game called... Oh, it's a name and then garden. What is it called? Amy's Garden? No, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, that game is probably one of the first ones. Actually, the Indiana Jones comparison is funny because after this game came out, they did 2 Indiana Jones games. Actually, they did 3 Indiana Jones games that were so obviously just Tomb Raider games. They did Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. They even got the word tomb in there. And Indiana Jones, The Staff of Kings. Ever heard of Naples' Tale for Dreamcast? Yes. By the way, Moto, Leon S. Kennedy, I mean, that's newer, but Leon S. Kennedy was specifically designed to appeal to women. Hence why he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio in the 90s. Hey, look at that! What animal is that, chat? Do you see it? That is Deinonychus. We are in the Lost Valley. This is what we could have done in Jurassic June bit if you wanted to. But yeah, Link in Ocarina of Time is also inspired by Leonardo DiCaprio. And specifically, the women at Nintendo of Japan the women at Nintendo Japan saw the early design for Link in Ocarina of Time and was like, you gotta make him hotter. And that's why Link looks the way he does in Ocarina of Time. So Link in Ocarina of Time kind of fits the market well. And yeah, King's Quest, we don't think Roberta Williams would say King's Quest was made specifically to appeal to women in regards to the characters. Because Sierra definitely did more a this appeals to everyone approach there. But when they did some of the sequels, for sure. Huh? Oh no! A Tyrannosaurus Rex! Extinct again, motherfucker. Boop, boop. Yeah, so the T-Rex is the first boss of the game. And of course was featured in the trailer for Tomb Raider's new remake. Yeah, this was a mind-blowing moment seeing like a big fucking T-Rex come running out of the jungle attacking you. And yeah, T-Rex did not fucking live in Peru, but yeah. For fun, let's have a look at what that scene looks like in some other versions of the game. Hold on. Valley. Okay. This is before Turok and the Dino Crisis? Yep. Okay, so boom, we're gonna go here for a moment. And bring up so what you're about to see now is the unreleased 2006 core design developed Tomb Raider 10th anniversary for the PSP. This is done on an emulator. But yeah, we're about to look at what the what that remake looked like. Okay, here we go. Where's the T-Rex? This is where the T-Rex normally happens. Hold on, this might actually have been before the T-Rex cutscene was put in. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so the cutscene was never finished. But okay, here's the version where it's added back in. Okay, so this is the 10th anniversary unreleased 2006 PSP remake of the T-Rex scene. I thought it was odd that it didn't appear. There we go. So there's the Deinonychus. And yeah, since it's a prototype, there's no fight here, because it's just a cutscene model. So we're just gonna move so we can show the stuff off. So that's the T-Rex in the unreleased version. Let's see, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Xbox 360, Lost Valley. Now let's show what it looks like on the remake that did come out. Well, technically there were... Was there multiple versions of Anniversary? Don't remember right now. There might have been a GBA version or a DS version or something as well that we don't remember, but we're just gonna go with the 360 version here at least. So this is the 360 version of the Lost Valley level. We're gonna get to the dinosaur section, which is here. This is on the 360. This is the remake that did come out, and it's gorgeous, by the way. Okay, this was not the dinosaur part. We thought it was, but apparently it's not. Okay, this has got to be it, right? Yeah, it is. They added in more than Deinonychuses. Okay, tell this was post Resident Evil 4. Oh, wet. Yeah, you know what? We can agree on. And yeah, and here's the boss fight. Do you think changing its appearance to happening in a cutscene lessens the impact? A little bit. But we also understand why they do it, because obviously games have changed a lot. So we have 2 more versions to show. So first, let's see. We're gonna look at the remastered version from 3 years ago, we think. This is the one that's on PS4, Switch, etc., etc. So this is actually like, this is the same game as like the one we're playing on Saturn, but like you can switch into a new graphics mode. This is the new graphics mode version. It looks really nice, honestly. It kind of looks like a Dreamcast version, but like running at a higher resolution. It's kind of cute though. It's like locked to the same animation style, so like it looks kind of wonky. And finally, we are gonna look at this is the Legacy of Atlantis trailer.
It's been years. But the events are still etched in my memory. Lost worlds. Frozen in time. New discoveries. Waiting behind every door. Across every chasm. I didn't know then the path this adventure would send me on. That it lit a fire
Feather Deinonychus.
still burns. I need to see more. I need to go further. To uncover the secrets of Atlantis.
And there's a T-Rex, which also is feathered for some reason, but
Some legends are destined to be retold.
yeah, so that's the remake coming out October, we believe it is. But yeah, T-Rexes did not have feathers. I mean, some did. It could be a Uteranus, maybe. They could justify it that way. But yeah, there's the T-Rex in the new remake. Yep, this is the game is about Atlantis. But yeah, there seems to be some kind of like chase sequence now that was not in the original version. But yeah, it's pretty cool. That is true, actually, Jinpan. What they could do, if they're clever, they could be like, oh yeah, no, the T-Rex in Peru that remained alive over the past 65 million years has evolved and now looks like this, and it's a different species. They could do that. But yeah. And now you've seen this T-Rex throughout the years. Technically, it also appears in the mobile game Tomb Raider Reloaded, but let's not. So up there is the bridge that you saw in all of those depictions, by the way. Chase to a boss arena? Yeah, it could be cool. We did like actually how the unreleased remake, the PSP remake, how it did like this bridge is whole when you arrive, and then like the T-Rex breaks it. That's kind of cool. We do like that idea. Maybe they'll do that. Who knows? We're personally very excited for that remake and a brand new game, because they're also doing a new game. But the new game's coming out 2027. But yeah. We're normally very cynical about remakes, but this seems like this is one of those cases where like the remake feels like it exists for a good reason, and it's not trying to replace an existing version. This one is almost 20 years old, yeah. I mean, we don't think that's necessarily like. I mean, we don't like the idea of like this thing is old, we need a new version. Like we actually really hate that. But we do think, hey, we can do something new with this that can be interesting and cool. It's a good reason to make a remake. The problem is that a lot of the time you get not only the justification becomes this thing is old, so it needs to have a new version. And also, that means we can just get rid of the old version. And we really, really dislike that. Capcom has that mindset about Resident Evil, for example. But with Tomb Raider, they've made sure to like keep all versions available. Like if you want to play the original Tomb Raider and not in any fancy remaster or anything, it's on GOG. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation Network. If you want to play the Anniversary remake, it's on Steam. It's on GOG. It's on PlayStation Network. It's probably gonna get a remaster like the other old games got. And that's the thing, if you want to play a remastered version of the original games, that is on every single console now. You know? So like, that makes us appreciate the upcoming remake more, because clearly they want to keep their old games available, you know? Capcom should know better from fighting games. Yeah, absolutely. Especially after like the backlash that like, remember the HD remake of Street Fighter 2? Street Fighter 2 was like Hyper Street Fighter 2 HD remix or something. It was like, people hated it, and that would arguably be like a fancy remake. So you would think that they would like have learned by that point that like more modern versions is not necessarily something that people want to replace the old. But yeah, who knows what Capcom is thinking, honestly. Not entirely sure where we're supposed to go right now. I mean, we know we need to get to the bridge up there, but like, how would we do that? Oh yeah, no, we agree, Miss Sun. Like, that stuff is also really fucking frustrating. We talked about it before, but like when Lindsay Lohan was in the to date final Herbie movie, they digitally downsized her breasts because it was considered indecent for children. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, it's not like the breasts were like exposed or anything. Like, no, they like she was fully covered up, but like, no, just the fact that they were big enough to made like people upset for no good reason. And then you have the opposite thing as well. Like, remember that shitty King Arthur movie from like 2004 or something? With Keira Knightley. Yeah, exactly. Jimpan, that's exactly what we were about to say. Keira Knightley's boobs were made larger on the poster for King Arthur, and like by a lot. Oh, hello. Underwater section. Oh, hello, Deinonychus. Fuck. Really hope that Lara's guns still have infinite ammo in the new games. That's one of those things we feel like games these days are scared to do because it's not realistic or whatever. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Moto. Wait, isn't this just where we were? Yeah, it's just another way to the section we were in. God damn it. We need to get up there somehow. What's the compass say? Back. That can't be accurate. Can it? We literally just came from there. What is this thing? It is nice that the game does actually have a like waypoint like that you can follow. It's not super useful, but like it's better than nothing. And most games, especially 3D games, had nothing at the time. Oh yeah, unique costumes in Resident Evil. Yeah, that's a fun one. All these caves just bring us back to the same location. Okay, what's the compass say if we go back here? Yeah. I mean, the movement isn't all that limited, though, Yenpan. Like, I mean, we get what you're saying. But, like, genuinely, we're, like, really impressed by how fluid and well this game controls. We were actually kind of scared going into this, that we thought we would have a lot of trouble. But, like... honestly, more than anything, replaying this game in 2025 has, like, just kind of furthered our tank control supremacy belief. You do have to, yeah, you absolutely do have to plan out your movements more. But that's fun. That makes movement a puzzle. And when you do those cool moves right, it looks so cool and you feel so good. Let's pick up this gear. Metal gear. Actually, it's a stone gear, but you know. Okay, so this is clearly why we had to go in here, right? If we look at the compass now, it still points us here. Never mind. Yeah, Croc Saturn is gonna be interesting when we get to it. That's another one we haven't played on Saturn, so... I mean, very few games we actually have played on Saturn because we didn't have a Saturn growing up. It was the only Sega console we didn't have. The game just keeps pushing us towards this direction, and like, we're sorry, but like, we've been there. There's nothing else there. So I think we can't trust this compass. Have we seen somewhere where the machine cog would fit? But yeah, we would liken the tank controls in this game to, like, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 feels great to play, you know? Like, you generally don't feel like the game's controls are in the way. They take a bit of time to master, for sure. But, like, when you've learned them and you're executing them as intended, it genuinely feels great. Okay, this is clearly where we're going. The compass points towards the exit, we think. Or like where maybe like it does point you in a direction. That's why if you look at the compass, it doesn't point north. North is just up on the compass for some reason. Oh hey, a save crystal. God, the saving is so fast. It is baffling that this is on Saturn. Or on console, rather. Okay, this is how we got up here. We're not climbing up there again. Wait, are we going backwards now? God fucking damn it. Thankfully, this game is very fast at loading, so... Exactly, Moto. Precise movement is easier. With tank controls. Because most of the time the game is like made for precise movements. There we go, and look! It's this scene that we just saw in the remake trailer. Although she didn't do the fancy acrobatic getting up from the ledge thing. Don't think you could do that yet in this game. That's like a later game thing, but we could just be wrong. It's possible that we could have done it. Okay, so now I have 2 gears. But where are we gonna use them? Hey, it points in a different direction, so it was pointing at the gear, probably. Laura, that's not what we meant for you to do. We didn't mean to do a dive. But that's on us. We forgot to let go of the left the left bumper. God damn it. How come we don't die when we... Oh, because when we dive, we take damage because we hit the ground, right. Yeah. Probably gonna be able to just like drop down here or something. Yeah. Or you know, we can. That can happen too. It's easy to look at these deaths and be like, "Ha, that." And you said tank controls were good, but like the issue is not tank controls. The issue here is like camera angles and level design. Oh, that's where the safe drop down is. Okay, we see it now. Maybe not. Oh, can we not? Oh, we can't drop down there. Interesting. So we actually had to run back over? Oh well, let's just take that. Okay, let's figure out where the hell this... That's where we came from. Where the hell this cog goes then. Gotta be here in the temple, right? But nothing really stands out here. Uh-huh. Another one. Okay, so now we have 3 cogs. And we still don't know where to use them. It really feels like we're supposed to have seen a place to use these cogs by now. Given how many we're finding. That might be it, yeah. I like this guy's just a black void. Yeah. I think that's the case in like all outdoor areas in this game. Didn't start doing skyboxes until Tomb Raider 2. There's nothing of interest up there. Guess we're going here again. It's funny that we remembered, like, the swimming being the worst from when we played this game as a kid. And now being like, hey, swimming's actually pretty good. And far more forgiving than we remembered, too. Also, like, the only deaths we have so far have just been, like, bad jumps. Which is, like, not even, like, the game's own difficulty at play so much as just us being silly for the most part. Oh, this is almost like a cool little, like, fixed cinematic camera angle. We love this. That's cool. The compass is still pointing in towards this wall, though. How do we get further in that direction? Okay, now we need to take the med pack. We wanted to avoid taking the med pack just in case we were gonna find the end of the level. But now it feels more likely that we'll die from a fall if we don't use it. This just brings us back to the jungle, right? I've been thinking of cosplaying Lara, Andrea. Yes. It's the short answer. But no, like, specific plans for it. But it would be fun. The problem is that she does tend to wear less clothes than we are comfortable with. But there's always multiple outfits. We can probably find one that we would be cool with. Why is the T-Rex music playing again? Did the T-Rex respawn? Hi? Are you okay? T-Rex? The music is playing. No, we don't know how to get tickets yet, Moto. It probably will be announced around January or so, we would guess. They just announced the American one, we think, like very recently. Like last month or something. Yeah, fun fact, by the way, speaking of Final Fantasy, there was a Lara Croft cosplay in Lightning Returns. And Lara as a character was included in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. This was back when Square Enix owned the Tomb Raider brand. Obviously they don't anymore. But we do think like the Lightning Return stuff is still in the game. This is just the way back, right? Oh yeah, no. Absolutely not, obviously. Like, it would be ridiculous to go to both. Right now we haven't even like finalized going to Necon Winter yet. We want to, but we don't know if we can. And also, like, last Nakon Summer was just very physically draining on us. Like, we said it during the convention, but like, it was the first time a convention made us feel old, you know? So, like, we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. We do want to go, but yeah. Oh, Laura, where are we supposed to go? Why is this so confusing? Genuinely considering looking up a guide at this point. Just feel silly just running through the same corridors over and over. But the compass is just pointing us towards walls. Yeah, sure. We would love a hint. Top of the big waterfall? Like that one? Oh, have we been here? Yeah, this is the same. This is the same one. Near the star with the... Oh, we need to go back? That kind of makes sense. Not sure why we didn't think of that. Wait, is this not the way back? This is not the way back. Wait, no, it has to be. Oh, wait, so where did we come from here? Oh, okay. We see now. It can be a little difficult to see the ledges sometimes because of like how grainy the conversion, the HD conversion between the cables from the Saturn to the capture is. It probably would have been even harder on a fucking CRT. Not too many if you don't get stuck. That's true. Okay. Getting stuck was just part of like game designs back then. That's why games felt much longer than they actually are. Oh, we're here again. Oh, okay, here we go. We are kind of curious, like, we think we're gonna, like, install the remaster and play off-stream, between streams, to, like, compare, see, like, what it's like playing it with all the modernizations that it adds. You don't think it would be interesting enough to, like, stream that? Although, maybe. Could maybe be fun. But, like, in that case, down the line. Not immediately afterwards or anything. Okay, well, that was the waterfall. The waterfall is here. Felt too weird, yeah. And we can imagine. We haven't tried them yet. We own both them. Like we own both the remastered trilogies. But we haven't touched them yet. Oh, hello. Wait, no, this is where we came from. This is the start of the level. Hey, now we can do the jump. Earlier we failed it. On every attempt. No! Yeah, there are some things that we genuinely do think, like, yeah, pretty much every game is improved with this. But for the most part, we think a lot of things that people call quality of life actually is just kind of... I find playing certain games a chore and need to make that everyone else's problem. Instead of just playing other things. Fuck the fuck off! These jumps are the worst. We used to be someone who argued that manual saving should always be accessible. We have mellowed out a little bit on that, but that's because these days pretty much every console has, and most computers, have some ability of like just pausing your progress if you need to like get up and do something else and return later. Which eliminates the like which eliminates the like immediate necessity for such a feature. But yeah. Like now, for example, if you were to be like, oh yeah, let's continue this in the next stream, we would have to redo a bunch of content because we've used up the save crystals. And that kind of sucks. But we could leave the Saturn running. But that's not ideal. Limitations to a degree. In general, manual saving is trickier than a lot of people appreciate. Yeah, not only that's a hot take, Moto. It's also a bad take. I mean, multiplayer games, yeah, they don't have a way to pause save the game because it would literally be impossible. And like, that's a concession because you're playing something in real time. That's like saying you shouldn't, like, be able to, like, put down a book at any point you want to. Because if you're playing D&D with other people, you have to, like, agree to pause a session. Like, that's silly. We did it again! And if your restriction, it's not a social contract. It's the fact that if everyone could pause the game whenever they wanted to in a multiplayer game, it would literally make the games unplayable. Because you could literally just freeze someone in a multiplayer game because you want to, like, be a shit about it. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you can't pause something that relies on other players also being actively participating in the game. It doesn't work. Because either there needs to be a pause feature that everyone agrees on to use, or it would be abusable. Like, imagine if someone could pause the entire Final Fantasy XIV server. What? Like what? Like how many worlds is it total? It's like 24 or something. You need 24 accounts, 24 free accounts, and then you can, like, permanently shut down Final Fantasy XIV. So no. While it doesn't literally fall under impossible, it is realistically impossible to have a functioning pause feature like that in an online game. And when offline games do that, it's actually fucking bullshit. And thankfully, the advent of dashboards on consoles have made it impossible for that to be enforced. But all that is fucking disrespectful to the fucking player. Like, oh, sorry, you got a phone call? Oh, you're not allowed to pause our game. It's too important for you to pause it. Fuck off. Fucking hate video games that do that. From Software can go fuck themselves with that shit. Doesn't make Dark Souls harder. It makes it annoying. And of course, even Dark Souls. I mean, again, that is on a system with a dashboard. But even Dark Souls, you can just find a is the help menu in the pause menu. Pause menu will actually pause it. Yeah, that's what we just said, Motto. And no, it's not just the inventory menus, because the fucking start button in general is not just the inventory menus. You need to abuse a help window to actually pause it. And that's not even intentional design. Yeah. Now what? You're fucking joking. We need to jump and grab that? Seriously? We're going to bed as well, Miss Sun. We just need to finish this level first. How the fuck are we gonna do this? Can we even make that jump? Okay, it was actually not that bad. Yeah, that's fair, Moto. But in that case, it also kind of falls under, like, a specific gimmick, which in general is not something that, like, is useful for, like, general game design. What time is it? Almost 1 a.m. Yeah, we really need to end. We do want to see what happens over here first. You were really worried that the game was going to be like, oh, you need 4 cogs, by the way. But no, it's just 3 cogs. And the cogs are just flat sprites. You love to see it. That did. Oh, okay. Whee! Stop the flow of the water. Would not be surprised if there's like a speedrun way that like completely ignores the cogs and just somehow like makes their way here instead. Yeah, this level is longer than we remembered. Picking up these sprites is so much harder than you think. You need to stand in such a very specific location for them. Oops. Where are we now? Oh, this is just path from earlier, but without the water. Okay, but the water down there is still there. Come on. Do you still have to do the entire jump puzzle even though you get rid of the water? That's actually really annoying. Come on. Really? She can't even grab onto this? Okay, no, there we go. And she didn't do her backflip for some reason. Okay. Okay, fuck this. Yeah, we gonna continue this on the next stream. It's a lot of fun so far. This game is really good. We hit a save point, that's good. Thank you so much for watching. We'd like to give a very special thank you to our wonderful supporters. You are Arachnopunk, Bean, Dale R, Eggleston, Fadeleaf, Garden, Hadahase, Hokase, Hutch, Use, Case Murbeck, Lucaribu, Loose Queen, Emerald Bloom, Moto, R. Hilson, Rain, Rum Ray, Sagan Music, Shadow Windshield, Spider-Man Use, Coyote, and Eurocha. If you would like to support us, we have Patreon, a Copen, and PayPal links are on the screen and in the description. And amount you give get your name and credit for at least a month. Love you all. Take care. And good night.